If you're just joining this journey without having watched the previous videos, this video series is the story of my overland adventure through Oregon and Washington. Over the span of 2 weeks, I traced approximately 2,600 miles of rugged backcountry roads and remote Pacific Northwest wilderness, living out of my Jeep dispersed camping the entire time. I mostly followed the Oregon and Washington Pacific Crest Overland routes, and the Olympic Traverse route. I also deviate from the PCORs and follow a few small sections of the Oregon and Washington backcountry discovery routes at times, since they crisscross each other many times and often follow very similar or identical paths. This is day 4 of the trip overall, and the first full day in Washington. The day begins at the Forlorn Lakes and ends overlooking Mount Rainier.
Good morning. We slept good last night. We just came down the road here, visited Goose Lake. Super pretty. We're backtracking down the road a little bit to see the waterfall that I should have passed on the way to camp last night if I hadn't taken that BDR detour. But this area is so pretty. We are going down to Panther Creek Falls. It's kind of not very well marked. We got that. It's a cool little sign. And we got caution, high cliffs ahead. But there's not like really a trailhead parking. Much of a trailhead parking. I can hear it though. Panther Creek Falls was amazing. I am so glad I made I think it was a 7 or 8 mile detour each way, so 16, 17, 18 miles round trip to get back to where I need to be to start heading north again. But I am very glad I decided to make that detour. We are going into the Glacier Ice Caves, which is pretty cool. I think I'm gonna have to switch to night mode in a minute. This is cool though. Oh, Jesus, it's cold already. Oh shit, there's a lot here. It's cold in here. I wonder what makes this happen. Like, why is it so cold? This is not what I was expecting at all. I'm not sure what I was expecting, to be quite honest, but it wasn't really this. Let's go shop. It's way too dark in here to capture much, but that's pretty cool. Up we go. Oh, the moths. They're pretty cool. Oh, it's like right there. It's like a wall of coldness. It's like a layer you can just feel. Let's see if this says how. Served as the ice supply for the towns of Hood River and the Dailies in pioneer days. Fascinating. The ice forms during the winter from the freezing of dripping water, of course. Although much seasonal melting occurs, these persist throughout the year. This phenomenon occurs because the lower eastern end of the cave acts as a trap to retain heavy cold air, which has settled into the cave during the winter. That is fascinating. Look how large this is. We were here. What the hell? I probably went to I didn't even notice there was a room. Crystal Grotto? Damn, I should have went further. I probably only went to here. But that thing goes clear out yonder. Look how much ice is in those photos. I wonder if that's where the Crystal Grotto is. That's fascinating. Not what I was expecting. Usually I don't comment or document the towns and stuff I go through because it's just usually not interesting. But this little town, Trout Lake, Washington, is so cool. It's just so quaint. Look at this general store. There's just all kinds of signs, people talking about fishing, where to catch the trout. The pump was still you pay for it, you pump it, and then pay. You just pick up the handle and press a button and just pump, and then go in and pay. Which is the first time I've experienced that. I felt like an idiot. I didn't know what the hell was going on. Some kid had to come out and show me how to pump gas. I'm sure he gets that quite a lot though, there.
The fact that they made a sign for this is so fascinating. Like, do you think it's still honored?
Judging from that, I just seen like 3 families of indigenous peoples picking huckleberries not far after that sign, a few hundred yards after that sign. Maybe it's actually honored. That's fascinating. Oh, there's hella vehicles. There was like 4 different cars. There's so many huckleberries along both sides of the road since that sign. So many. And what's fascinating about it is that sign said the handshake agreement of 1932. So look at this. It's just like this. Those bushes, it's just constant. Constant huckleberries, both sides of the road. That sign said handshake agreement of 1932. So that means that all of these huckleberries along this random particular portion of the road has been growing a ton of huckleberries for almost 100 years now. 90 something years now. Probably way before that too. Oh, there's another sign that says the same thing. Huckleberries are reserved. This is so fascinating. That's so cool. There's a teepee down there. I've never seen so many just berries of any sort. Never seen so many berries compacted into such a small area in my life. Berry Field. Oh, there's an interpretive site up here called the Berry Fields Interpretive Site. It's just fields of berries. Absolute fields of them. There's also these purple flowers kind of mixed in. Oh my god. Berry Fields Interpretive Site. The PCT runs right here too. There wasn't anything, I don't know what an interpretive site is. I expected like signs or something, like explaining history of stuff, and there's nothing there. So that was so cool though. I was not expecting that either. I should have picked some and seen if I like huckleberries. So I just asked ChatGPT, thank the Lord for Starlink. And huckleberry picking season is mid-July to the 1st of September, depending on location. So we are smack dab in the middle of it, probably in the prime of it. We just happened to time huckleberry season right. That's so cool. Apparently this area is known as the Lewis River Recreation Area. I just passed a sign that said it was the Lewis River Recreation Area for the next 10 miles. And apparently anywhere within this next 10 miles you need a reservation from recreation.gov, which is crazy. Usually you need reservations for specific like hikes, specific trails, not an entire stretch of 10 miles of highway with trailheads. It's so beautiful here though. So some things the BDR does better. Some things the PCOR does better. Like the BDR, that unexpected section I took yesterday, the PCOR would have skipped that and it was awesome. But this whole section right here with all these waterfalls and this recreation area, the BDR is way east of this. Not even close to this. Washington, I'm in love. I love Washington. Oregon was pretty, Oregon was cool, but so far, just for me personally, Washington's blowing Oregon out of the water. I was coming for the Pacific Northwest vibe, like ferns, moss, dense forest, and Washington is definitely delivering that much more than Oregon. So this is Baby Shoe Pass. No idea why it's named that, but people take the name quite literally, apparently. I literally drove by this and slammed on my brakes and flipped around because it's such a strange sight in the middle of the wilderness. Just a random pole with baby shoes.
Someone's dying for a swim.
I don't know what this stuff is, but it is absolutely covering the road here, like the whole way. Look at that. How cool that is. some things are a little weird. Like it had Horseshoe Lake marked as like a star, which means like must stop. I think that's what it means at least. And they didn't have Talk Lock. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Talk Lock. They didn't have that place marked at all. Like I just decided to stop at it. And it was 30 times more beautiful than Horseshoe Lake. I just stopped at Horseshoe Lake. It was okay, but Talklock Lake had like a view, a straight view over the lake of, I think it's Mount Adams. Still, like that place was crazy. I put that star there myself, but PCOR or the BDR, neither the PCOR or BDR had that place starred, and it was by far better than Horseshoe Lake. So if you're doing either the BDR, Washington BDR, or PCOR, and you see Horseshoe Lake, Horseshoe Lake marked, I would very highly suggest stopping at Talk Lock Lake. It's like 15 minutes down the road or up the road, depending on which way you're going. But okay, so on this random single road, we got one. That's kind of a waterfall. One. Kind of a waterfall. Two. Three. Four. Five. Oh, six. Seven. Eight. Nine. 10. 11. 12. 13. 14. I think that's it. I think we finally hit the end of the waterfall extravaganza. These horse camp things, I noticed them in Oregon too, Oregon and Washington here, are so interesting. They're like camps for horses, for horse users. They have like corrals, and I think you can only use them if you have horses. It's so interesting. I've never seen or heard of anything like that before. They don't exist, to my knowledge, in Utah. It's pretty cool. It's a cool concept.
I was originally just planning on staying near Walloped Lake, which was just shown, but after some online sleuthing, I discovered a spot that supposedly had unhindered direct views of Mount Rainier. So I ended up going into Packwood. I got some groceries, refueled, did some things, and then I headed up to check this spot out. And I'm so glad I did because unhindered views of Mount Rainier was exactly what it had right out my front door, my front porch, and it was awesome.
Jeep. Front porch. Mount Rainier. Very good view of it. So beautiful. Yep. This is the site. This is the site. It feels quite nice to be at camp for once before pure darkness. I have so much time on my hands. It's 7:41. What am I to do? I'm gonna make some good food. I'm quite hungry. I'm going to embrace the hell out of this view. It's so peaceful up here though. I don't even know what to do with myself with all this daylight, all this time. I can do all the things, all the things. Oh yeah, I picked this bad boy up too. Oh yeah, yeah. It's an ice cream type of night. And we got a hamburger. What the fuck was that? I swear I just heard a bear roar. That was very strange. I don't like that. I do not much appreciate that. I have to be hearing things though, because Gabby doesn't give two fucks. What is that? It almost sounds like a vibration or something. Very strange. Bears don't just make those noises, I don't think. I thought they only roared when they're trying to intimidate something. You are so spoiled, Gabby.
They do make grunts and other vocalizations, especially during social interactions. It's more of a series of huffs, grunts, or moans rather than a loud roar, and they use these sounds for communication.
Gabby doesn't care though. She's not reacting in the least. She would sense them nearby far longer than before I would. I don't know what else that could be. It sounds like a bear. And if it is a bear, it sounds like there's multiple. Gabby's still not reacting at all. She doesn't act nervous. She's not on alert. I also have this ridiculous bear horn. I'm gonna keep that right there. I'm gonna keep my other bear neutralizer right here. And I'm gonna eat my food. I have enough potatoes to feed the entire Salvation Army. I don't know if this microphone is picking those up. I'm not appreciating this at all. If this microphone's picking up those at all. It's probably not, and you guys probably think I'm losing my mind up here. Almost sounds unnatural. Not unnatural, but it sounds like a bear. But I just don't understand why a bear would be vocalizing like that. I mean, I'm not a black bear expert. It seems strange. And the birds are out and chirping. That's another good sign. There's not a predator. It very well could be a bird. It just doesn't make any logical sense to me that it'd be a bear. Gabby's alerting on something. What is it, sweet girl? The more I hear it, and sometimes it's closer, especially the close ones, sound like, I don't know what it sounds like, but it's like a vibrate. What is it, sweet girl? What is it, good girl? The more I hear it, the less and less it sounds like a bear. I don't know what the hell it is, but pretty sure it's not a bear. It is a noise that I've never heard in the wilderness before. And there's definitely multiple of them, because it keeps coming from different directions. It's tripping me out is what it's doing, because it sounds like a bear, but then it doesn't sound like a bear. And then it doesn't make any logical sense for it to be a bear. Gabby's not reacting in the slightest. She's not even on alert. She's not on alert. She doesn't react to the sound itself in even the slightest way.
I still have no idea what that noise was. I set up my wireless camera looking at the Jeep that night. Nothing ever tripped it, and I didn't hear it as much once it got later in the night. If anyone knows what it was, though, comment below because I am pretty curious. I'm fairly sure at this point I was just concerned about some random bird call or something simple as that I just hadn't heard before. But let me know. Special thanks to the Overland Trail Guides team and contributors, and the Backcountry Discovery Routes team and contributors for curating and providing these incredible routes, and providing access to the incredible wealth of knowledge that they do in regards to these routes and all the other routes that they have spent so much time on. Without them, creating a route like this trip from scratch would be incredibly time consuming.